Alright, y'all. David West asked me to make him a Kydex sheath for an old Hickory butcher knife. I started out just molding the Kydex. I put 2 layers of blue tape on the blade and 4 layers on the handle. He wanted a knife to freely slide in and out of the sheath. I drew a line along the edge of the blade. I'm going back about a ½ inch and drawing the line where I'm going to cut the Kydex. Go ahead and cut away the excess first because it always makes it easier to do the final cut without the extra Kydex in the way. And this is 060 Kydex. It's pretty tough trying to cut around that handle, so I had to go and cut some more material away to continue with my cuts. And I'm leaving some on the back side of the handle there. I'm going to fold that piece down, and that will make a belt clip. He wanted a sheath that he could easily slide on and off of his pocket. Once again, I'm just cutting away the excess Kydex before I make the final cut. I'm going to heat that strip of Kydex up so I can bend it over to form the belt loop. A belt clip, pocket clip, whatever you want to call it. And on the bottom of the clip, I want to bend it over to make kind of a hook so that it won't pull out of the pocket too easily. And give it something to grab. I'm blowing on it to cool it off a little faster. He also wanted a 3/8 by 6" ferro rod to be attached to the sheath, so I'm making a ferro rod loop. I don't like for a ferro rod holder to stick out beyond the width of the knife. I think it just gets in the way, so I try to lay, whenever I do it, I try to lay the ferro rod on top of the sheath. And I also wanted to position it so it wouldn't interfere with the knife handle, so I decided to put it on an angle like that. Figure out where I want to lay out for the rivets. Get the holes drilled. Using a 9/64 drill bit. I like to use a spring-loaded center punch. It makes it a lot easier to drill your holes where you need to, so your drill bit don't walk around as much. Again, I'm going to put the ferro rod in there and make sure that it won't interfere with the knife handle on the sheath. I didn't measure any of the holes, I just kind of spaced them out evenly. Run the back of a knife blade through there to clean up the little Kydex shavings that were left inside the sheath. And I'm going to use small double cap rivets. You can buy the rivets at Tandy Leather. Hobby Lobby also has some of them in they got a small leather section, and they'll usually carry the double cap rivets. These I bought off of eBay. They're black painted. They just look a lot better on some projects than the chrome silver rivets. Time to add the ferro rod loop. Yeah, I messed up on that rivet. I ended up hitting it in the center of the rivet with the edge of the setter. Luckily, you can prime apart with a screwdriver. I didn't have to destroy the sheath to fix it.
Huh.
Oh man, I did it again. 2 times in a row. I tried to straighten it out, but it still had a big dent across the middle of it. So, take it apart again. Third time's a charm, right?
There we go.
I'm gonna sand everything smooth, get all the edges flushed up. I have an 80 grit belt on my sander. It removes the material pretty quick, but it doesn't make too fine of an edge. I'm going to swap the belt out to 120 grit. Smooth the edge out a little bit more. And I have a piece of diamond sandpaper glued to a piece of rubber. And diamond sandpaper is just awesome. I've had that piece on that rubber for several years and it's still going. It still works great. That old Hickory butcher knife, the edge that came on it from the factory was just awful. And I was really disappointed. I never have looked up close at an old Hickory butcher knife before, but man, it was terrible. So I reprofiled the edge, got a nice edge. I mean, the grind on that thing was like a 45-degree bevel or something. It was just awful. There we go. The ferro rod fits nicely, and the knife goes in and out like it should.
All right, David. I hope that's what you had in mind for your sheath. Clip it on and off your pocket. Well, I'm gonna drill a hole through the ferro rod and put a piece of string on it so it won't fall out. Come on.
This always looks cool. Ferrocerium, I guess it has to be exposed to oxygen to ignite, because otherwise I guess it would just burn up my drill bit. I've actually drilled quite a few rods with that same bit and it's still fine. You can tell I'll spread it around here, and a lot of it still hasn't ignited until I expose it to oxygen. And I'll round off the hole with a countersink bit. I ended up putting a little paracord lanyard on that ferro rod, and countersinking the holes will keep it from cutting into the paracord later. Well, that's about it for this video. I appreciate everybody watching. See y'all next time.